Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Track Talk, your connection coast to coast and beyond in all the latest news, developments, stake race analysis, and interviews inside the world of thoroughbred horse racing. From California to New York, Florida, and Kentucky, we have you covered. It's post time, live from San Diego. It's Track Talk. And we welcome you on this Saturday morning. Welcome from San Diego. What a great, great Chamber of Commerce day, along with Tommy D. We'll talk about all the racing action from across the country. And, man, do we have a great star-studded event today. You know, you can look a number of different ways, and you can start in all regions. You can go back to New York, where they have the running of the Wood Memorial. Without any question, the marquee race back there at Aqueduct during this period of time. But prior to that, we have the Bayshore, the Grade 3, 7 furlongs, 3-year-olds, $250,000. That's race number 6. We go to the Excelsior, a mile and an eighth, Grade 3, $150,000, race number 7. The Gazelle for 3-year-old fillies, a Grade 2, 300 grander, a mile and an eighth. Then you have the Carter Handicap, a Grade 1, 4 and upward, 400,000, 7 furlongs. And then you have the Wood Memorial, a Grade 2, race number 10. $750,000 for 3-year-olds. If you want to shift your sights down to the Commonwealth in Kentucky, as we take a look at the Commonwealth Stakes, it's a Grade 3, $250,000. That goes as race number 6 from Keeneland at 7 furlongs. Also be on the turf. As we look at race number 7, Shakertown Stakes, 5.5, a Grade 2, $200,000. That's race number 7. Race number 8 is the Madison Stakes, Fillies and Mares, a Grade 1 at 7 furlongs. That's carded as race number 8. We go to the Ashland, which is the 9th race on this card. Keeneland has 11 races. Aqueduct has 11 races. We go to the Ashland, a mile and a 16th for 3-year-old fillies, a Grade 1, $500,000. And then we have a big major prep race called the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes, a mile and an eighth, 3-year-old Grade 2, $1 million. If that is not enough for you on this Saturday morning, we'll go to Santa Anita for 11 race card. Mandatory payout in that Rainbow Pick 6. It's right around $800,000 right now. It should get close to $6-7 million, I would assume. We've got major racing action at Santa Anita. Santa Anita Oaks, the Echo Eddie, the Royal Heroine, the Santa Anita Derby, and the Santa Anita Handicap. Inside the studio we go. My man, Tommy D, on a Saturday morning. How you doing, champ?
Hey, good morning, Felix. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in this morning. What a great day of racing we got today. 300-point races for the Kentucky Derby. The field, is shaping up nicely here. We're less than a month away here from the big day, Kentucky Derby, right around there. So it should be interesting to see the field today. As you said, the Wood Memorial, the Santa Anita Derby, the Bluegrass, all 100-point races today. Excited to see racing at Santa Anita. What a big day. NCAA basketball, too, in the mix. But, horse racing, unbelievable. Stakes action, like you said, across the country. So what a great day of handicapping. So hopefully you got your pens out, tune in here, and hopefully we get some winners for you here today.
Zoom in, right?
Zoom on in.
Yeah, that's right, baby. All righty. Let's go to Aqueduct. I know that you did your due diligence there. As mentioned, 11 races on that card at Aqueduct. Just a splendid New York day. Bayshore, one of my favorite races for 3-year-olds. 7 furlongs is the distance, a Grade 3. It's carded as the 6th race. We got a short field of 5 here, so we won't spend a lot of time on the Bayshore. But the Excelsior is the next race up, which has a field of 8, and you're going to have some prices. By the way, Manny Franco was in Fuego yesterday, so you got to continue to look his way. I mean, he's riding as sharp as a tack, but I know you did your work. We've got major races from 6 through 10 leading up to the Wood Memorial. How's it look from New York?
Yeah, New York looks great today. The Bayshore here, talking about Manny Franco. I like him in that first race with Call Paul. Jason Service on fire. This horse winning seven last 2 races here pretty nicely, or for Jason Service. Manny Franco is going to take over here. I like the chances of number 4, Call Paul. And then you got to look at number 1, Much Better. Bob Baffert shipping this horse out after running in the Gotham, was in a little bit of a speed duel. It's going to be shortening up to that 7 furlongs. I think that's a better fit for this Pioneer of the Nile sired 3-year-old. Espinoza up again. Great to see our good friend Victor Espinoza riding good. So congratulations and good luck today. I like those 2 horses, and maybe number 2, Mucho, is the 5-2 here. Mott Ortiz, this horse won off the bench pretty nicely last time by Blame here. Good workouts on the tab. So I'm looking at 4-1-2 here in the first, possibly throwing in the 3. But for being such a short field, 5 horses, I think it's going to be a very competitive race. Let's move on to race 7, as Felix said. This one, I fell on number 8. Is my top choice. Life's a Parlay at 4-1. Todd Pletcher and Johnny V. This horse winning off the bench for first asking here. This is an Uncle Mo sire. They paid $325 for this 4-year-old colt. Rapoli stable, jockey trainer combo, 33% at Aqueduct. So pretty nice combo there. Also, I like number 1 a little bit here in this race. I think this horse you have to give a solid look. 5-1, Linda Rice. Nicodemus. This is a Windstar farm breded horse. This horse winning nicely on the slop last time. It's going to be adding distance here. I like the chances of this horse. In number 6, Discreet Lover, you got to put the favorite in there maybe also. I'm going to try to beat him here on smaller tickets, maybe leave it out. But this horse is coming out of the Breeders' Cup Classic. Off the bench since then. Coming back for this race. Might need a race, but also this horse could be ready to fire here in race 7. So 8 would be my top choice. I like the 1. And then the 6 off the bench. If this horse could fire, could be right in the mix. Obviously, Breeders' Cup Classic, best horses in the world. Moving along to race number 8, we're going to be going on to the Gazelle. This is a grade 2. This is going 1 mile and 1/8. And this is a $300,000 purse. And, my top choice was, I fell on number 4, Positive Spirit. Positive Spirit was 2-1 at the post in this last in the Rachel Alexandra. Getting a lot of respect. 25% for trainer Rudolph Brissett here. You get Ortiz up, I think, second off the bench. This horse should look good. Very impressive win at Aqueduct in December in the grade 2 Demoiselle. So Pioneer of the Nile, another sire, on this one, sticking strong with that. Number 2, Espresso Shot's going to be an interesting one. This horse did win 2 in a row here. First off the bench last time, pretty nicely, should be sitting off the pace and look for a deep close. 5 always shopping, but I like 4-2 as my top choices here in race number 8 in the Gazelle. Moving along to race number 9. We're going to keep cruising through since we got a lot of races today. We're going to go on to the Carter Handicap. And this is where I think I'm going to try to use my free bingo space on a single at 1-1, World of Trouble. Jason Service, red hot, 36%. Winning on all levels here, has World of Trouble. This horse, 107, 109, 118, last 3 speed buyer figures on the track. This horse looks to be a monster. It's been off since January 26th. Ran last 2 times on a sloppy track. Before that on a yielding track. So it can win on and compete on all levels of tracks, which is good to see. Very diverse animal. The horse that I think a lot of other people are going to be trying to beat him with is number 2, Vino Rosso, this 4-year-old colt. By Curlin, you got to love that. This horse won last time back in action here at Aqueduct at the mile distance. So Vino Rosso could be a strong competitor, but I just think, World of Trouble has been proven himself each time, and I think this 4-year-old colt is very, very strong.
Yeah, so you just rifled through Aqueduct without any question about that. So as we take a look at, the Gazelle short field, the Bayshore, as I mentioned, is a short field, and leading up to a major prep race, which is the Wood. Vino Rosso, when you talk about him, we remember Vino Rosso exited out of the Belmont last year, or out of the Wood, actually, on his way to get to the Kentucky Derby. But there is just so much value that you can put into one card. At first look, I didn't think there was a lot of value at Aqueduct. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of value.
Really? Where would
really
the value be?
I think every single race is pretty open. I mean, even with some of the shorter fields, I still think that, even in race 6, it's a short field. But really, I think any horse could win that race. And the same thing in race 7. Race 7, I think maybe not as much. But race 8, I think a lot of horses could win that. I think 3 or 4 horses could win that. I really like race 9. I think that's where my free bingo space is. What I was saying is number 8, World of Trouble. I like this horse. Vino Rosso would be...
Even money.
Yeah, but that's the free bingo space. So therefore, if you could catch a price in some of the others, then maybe you could connect on a price.
All right,
I think the Wood Memorial is wide open.
Okay, tell me how you thought. What do you think about the Wood Memorial?
Well, my top horse is Heichel. It won, 3 in a row last time. It won nicely in the Gotham Grade 3. You got Curly McLaughlin, jockey trainer.
Correct?
Is that number 2 or number 4? Heichel, number 2.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Yeah. So Heichel, jockey trainer, 35% at the Big A here. So I love the jockey trainer combo.
Who's the trainer?
Curlin McLaughlin.
Okay.
Number 2, Tactus is the other horse that I think I was talking about. This horse was closing big time. Won the Tampa Bay Derby last time. You got Mott Ortiz. Got to love the connections there. I like number 3, Hoffa's Union a little bit here. Mark Cassie, one of our friends of the show. Davis aboard here. Jockey trainer 29. This horse broke its maiden by 15 last time.
Wow.
Obviously stepping up in class, but who knows? You never know at this time. Outshine, I think, has a shot with Pletcher. Malibu Moon, Tax, I think, Final Jeopardy. I think all these horses have a chance, and I put every single one of those on my ticket. I don't see the sure thing here in the Wood Memorial this year.
What do you think about Outshine on the outside, number 10?
I do like this horse. By Malibu Moon, second behind Tactus last. I think it was running nicely on, so I like number 10, Outshine. I think with Tom Pletcher training this horse, I think it has a good chance.
Wide open Wood Memorial on this Saturday. That's Aqueduct. Hey, I know that you probably burnt the midnight oil last night, Tommy D, with Keeneland. You have a great 11-race card at Keeneland, and Keeneland opened up this week, and they're off and running with field sizes that are pleasing to the eye. As we take a look at Keeneland, when you looked at Keeneland last night when you began your handicapping, what was the first thought, and which race did you go?
Man, I thought, wow, what a card here. Like you said, nice full races here, compared to Aqueduct and then Santa Anita with some, troubled issues. We got some smaller fields here. But yeah, I think that Keeneland wide open. I think there's a lot of great races today. I'm anxious to see some horses. And I think also, that other Derby race, the Bluegrass Grade 2, I think this race is also wide open. 100 points on the line there. So I'm interested to talk about Keeneland today. I think it looks pretty nice. Race 6 would be the first graded stakes race. This is the Commonwealth Grade 3. This is 7 furlongs. I thought number, 2, Recruiting Ready. This horse deserves to be talked about. Won 2 out of 3, 105 buyer last time out. Stanley Hugh, 38% trainer, 7-2 there. I got to have him on my ticket. Number 13, Warriors Club, second off the bench, second in its first back. Dwayne Lucas. This horse has $741,000 in earnings. It has good workouts on the tab. I like it at 10-1. Number 14, Majestic Downhill. This horse second in its last by a length. The closing speed of this fast pace up front. Expect Ortiz Jr. and Weaver connections to come through strong here. Number 6, Limousine Liberal. We all remember this horse. 4-1 at the Breeders' Cup Sprint last time. This horse is off the bench. My only concern is 1 for 7 at Keeneland here. But this horse is a $1.7 million earning horse, so I like 6, Limousine Liberal. And at a price, number 9, New York Central. Steve Asmussen, second in the Pat Day Mile at Churchill Downs. Won its first back. Tap It is the sire here. I kind of like it at 20-1, but I love this race uncontested at 12-1. Coppertown at 1. I think you spread here in the first. Top Choice is number 2 Recruiting Ready, but I think in the Commonwealth to start off your ticket, I think it's wide open. I think you need to spread here.
Oh, yeah, with a big field here, it's especially 7/8 of a mile. We talk about that all the time, that 7/8 of a mile is a tough distance to handicap. You know, it's right in between a sprint and a route. And people don't think that it's that major of a deal, but it really is, because a lot of 6-furlong sprinters are all out to get 7. And then I always believe that horses have a hard time going wire to wire at 7 furlongs. I see you'll see more horses go to wire at 6 furlongs than you would 7. So it's wide open. Did you catch any at Keeneland since it opened?
I did catch a little bit of yesterday. I was able to watch a few races. Didn't dig in too deep, but I expect to watch a lot of races today. What'd you think about
it?
Yeah, I thought the track itself. I think that after. It's supposed to be nice and clear today for the weather. I did check it out, 68, 55, a little humid, 58 degrees. But I think really after watching it, the turf outside seems to have a little bit speed on some of these races. So I'm anxious to see. I know a lot of people talk about the Keeneland other track, but the turf, I think, is something to pay attention to.
Yeah, the turf course is a good turf course down there. And I thought the track played fair. I love the announcer at Keeneland, Kurt Becker. He calls a great race, and they come from all over, and they have a pretty solid jockey colony. You have Corey Lannery down there, Florent Giroux, Luis Saez. All the big boys are in town Keeneland today. You got Paco Lopez, Julian LaPeroux. You have Javier Castellano and Tyler Gaffalione. The Ortiz brothers are there. I mean, you look at this jockey colony, and you go, wow. I mean, this is pretty star-studded riders that all emerge in a very small part of it. And, Thursday was the opening day at Keeneland, Tommy D. And, it's almost reminiscent of a Del Mar opening day. A lot of people on track, a lot of people dressed up. It's a college town, obviously, in Lexington, Kentucky, site of University of Kentucky. So it was a festive day down there in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's nice to see Keeneland, doing well and getting everybody involved. Yeah, I love Keeneland. I've never been, but I love watching it on TV and playing with it. Of course, very interesting to me to see what comes out of today here, because we got, as you said, graded races. And why are all the good jocks there? Because you got 5 races that are over $200,000 or more in the purse. So, show me the money, Felix.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you lead us there, baby doll. I mean, you did the work. So, all you have to do is line up properly. There's a lot to shoot for. I think the value, I asked you the question about the value at Aqueduct versus the value at Keeneland. I mean, there's no comparison, because I think the value you're going to be able to shoot for big odds. We go to the Shakerstown, and that's race number 7 on the card from Keeneland. $200,000, 5.5 on the turf course, and big field of 13 called the post. I don't know how many will go, but who's your key choice?
Yeah, so I like number 6, Will Call. This horse last ran in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Last ran on a yielding turf track here. Castellano's going to be switched up to take a board here. This horse was second in the Woodford Grade 2 back, so I want to give this horse another chance here at 6-1. I also like number 11, Imprimis. This horse had blowout speed figure last time, 109 buyer figure. This horse won big off the bench. Paco Lopez, talking about coming in town, will be aboard here on the 11. I really like the chances here. I kind of like Conquest Tsunami. Might be coming back too quick here, but the shorten up definitely help the 5.5. This horse likes to go short. And then I have to mention 3 Disco Partner. This horse second and last as the favorite. This horse was third in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, so we got a true player here. But I think this horse might need more distance in Disco Partner, so I'm going to try to beat it at 5-2. And maybe the 9, Bound for Nowhere. This horse 6-1 in the Shadwell Turf Mile last year, so getting some respect. You got Wesley Ward and Sayas, 23% on 13 mounts. But I like this race. I think there's some value here, but the 11 and 6 would be my top. Spreading, I'm going to try to beat 3 Disco Partner today.
All righty, so we'll call number 6, ridden by Javier Castellano. And the 11 is Imprints with Paco Lopez, as Tommy D mentions, at 6-1. You have Disco Partner, the 3. He's 5-2. And Conquest Tsunami with Florent Giroux is the 8. That's 4-1. That's a nice. I think definitely you cannot go into any of these races at Keeneland in single. I think you have to carry the spread board throughout the races. We go to the 8th race. This is the Madison Stakes, and talking about 7 furlongs, we're right back at it. But this time it's a group of fillies and mares, and they're 4 and upward here. Now we have a stone cold. Actually, that's the next race coming up. I can't wait to get to it. But we have a 7-2 morning line favorite. Late night powwow. Luis Saez riding sharper than Attack, riding very good. This is race number 8 at 7 furlongs. Field of 9, Tommy D. What do you have?
Yeah, definitely. Late night powwow is going to be tough here, winning 9 in a row here. Grade 3. This horse is impressive. This horse should be closing in on whatever speed there is in the race. But I like a couple other horses too here. I like number 8, America's Tale, at 10-1. This horse won a grade 2 off the bench, won its last 4 on the dirt here. So I like number 8 at a price here. And then you also got to mention number 9, Shamrock Rose. This is our Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Sprint Champ in the house. So this one, you gotta take a look at this one. I think shortening up, it might prefer this distance. So I think that, Mark Cassie and Ortiz Jr. will have this one ready to go at 5-2 there, 9 Shamrock Rose. I'd like to put that one in there. And number 4, Amy's Challenge. This horse won its last 2 races by 5+. This horse is improving. I don't want to throw this one out either. Spice Perfection, 7-2. This race is wide open. Even with that number 9 and number 6 looking pretty strong here. I like the 8 as my top choice, America's Tale here in race 8.
All righty. Want to reload? Take a little deep breath, and boy, you're full of information today, and we're just starting. Want to shout out to Sean. Say hello to Sean.
Sean, how's it going? Thanks for listening.
Sean from Surfside joining us on Track Talk, and top of the morning to you. We're looking at Aqueduct, Keeneland, and Santa Anita. There's a mandatory payout, $800,000 already in the pot at Santa Anita in that mandatory pick 6 of Santa Anita Derby, the big cap. You have some tremendous races at Santa Anita. We haven't even gotten there yet. When we go to the Ashland, we've talked about this filly for quite a while. Her name is Jaywalk. J.J. Castellano. Now, you talked about back at Aqueduct, there was a free bingo square as we looked at that race, World of Trouble. Is this a free bingo square in your estimation?
I don't think so, Felix. I like a couple other horses in here, including the number 5 Feedback. This Chad Brown horse here, this 3-year-old filly by... is a Violent Sire here. You got Klarovich Stables as the owner. This horse winning its first 2 starts, and guess what? Champagne Anyone beat last time out. And bye-bye, I think it's Jack Bolt. I'm not sure if that's the exact horse, but Bolt horse has won next time out at the 7 furlong distance here. So it's going to be adding distance here, but I think this horse might be able to figure it out. Number 5, Feedback. I like the chances to take Jaywalk down today. Also, number 2, Chocolate Kisses, Mark Cassie. This horse winning 2 in a row here. winning at the mile in the 16th last time out, so you got to like that. I'm going to try to throw out the number 6, Restless Rider. This horse was second in the Breeders' Cup Philly last year, so very respectful. It's been off since the fall, so that's the only reason I'm throwing it out. I'm going to give it a race. I'd like the 5, 4, and 2 here, so I don't think it's an easy walk for Jaywalk, Felix.
Chocolate Kisses, Mark Cassie, rang a bell when he came on our radio program weeks back. Talked about some of the horses which you're notoriously famous for, Tommy D. When we have these guests come on, you talk to them and ask them, who do you have in your barn that is kicking up a storm, kicking the barn door down, so to speak. Chocolate Kisses was one of them. Chocolate Kisses, she has not disappointed. And remember the other filly that he had that we talked about that he was training. I always forget her name, but she came on. She came on very, very strong after he appeared on the radio show. So the Ashland, 8 fillies going to post, a mile in a 16th, a grade 1, $500,000. Okay. The Bluegrass Stakes. I don't know if my memory has sort of escaped me, but maybe you know the question to my. Maybe you have the answer to my question. Does Keeneland still run on Tapeta, or is it dirt? I mean, did they take out their main track? Because I think Keeneland had synthetic surface, and I remember, horses that exited to the from the Toyota Bluegrass to the Kentucky Derby. They had a little asterisk because it was synthetic. It was Tapeta or all-weather track, whatever they called it, which I think California is starting to talk about it again. We'll follow up on that, but you have a nice field for $1 million. The Bluegrass, it's a grade 2, a mile and an eighth for 3-year-olds. 1 million SKUs here. You got a field of 14. What do you think? How did it all break down for you? Is there a price that we can look forward to at Keeneland in the Bluegrass?
Yeah, I think there's a few prices here, Felix, you could actually take a look at in the Bluegrass here. I like number 6, Dreammaker, talking about Mark Cassie, having him on our show. Giroux is going to be the jockey here. Mark Cassie, the trainer. This sort of horse by Tappet, owner John Oxley. He mentioned this horse on our show back in the day. So at 12-1, I like the value here. I think the race is wide open. I'm going to be trying to beat 9-5 Vacoma here. This horse was third in the Fountain of Youth, but it did win 2 out of 3 here. 8 win. Third and last at the Tampa Bay Derby grade 2. I got that horse on my board. Admire. I think this horse you might want to throw in the mix. Number 5, Signal Man, McPeak and Hernandez. Good workouts coming in. I like the race to be wide open here in the Bluegrass, Felix. I think a lot of options here. Number 6, Dreammaker. 8, win. 2, Vacoma. 5, Signal Man. And then Admire, 2. I think we could get a price here to end off the day at Keeneland. And this pick 4, pick 5 could pay, as long as we could get through a couple of these prices. Favorites losing. We need Disco Partner to go down. We also need Shamrock Rose and Jaywalk will be the major one we're trying to beat today to get a price in the up and downs there. Pick 4s, pick 5s, but a lot of horses at Keeneland. I haven't seen the scratch list, so if any of these are scratched, I do apologize. Did the work early this morning, late last night, so good luck today at Keeneland. But the Bluegrass, Felix, wide open.
All right, here's what I want to ask you. I want to go back to Aqueduct. And are we playing any pick 4s or any pick 5s of this 11 race card? I do believe that we have the pick 5 starting in race number 7 back there in New York, and they'll run through the 11th race. So Do you have any tickets that you might want to assemble here at Aqueduct? And then what we'll do is we'll go right to Keeneland, and we'll assemble. There has to be like an all-state pick 5 because the Commonwealth starts in the 6th, and then the Bluegrass ends in the 10th. So that would be a pick 5 there. Welcome aboard. We welcome you, Nato out there, Gelato 101. And Encinitas and Dan Shea down there in Donovan's. We wish you a very, very happy Saturday morning. Norman, Tom Mansour, Gordon, Jimmy the Jet listening to our radio program. Kelly back there in North Carolina. And, of course, Frank down in Buffalo or down in Florida. Frank from Buffalo down in Florida. And very, very, very beautiful day on the horizon. Ken Rose back there in Michigan at top of the morning to you. Matty B trying to get through. We're having some problems with our phone lines this morning, so we can't make connection with Zapper. We got somebody working on it, and Matty B coming in. I hate to miss Matty B on this big day. He's so excited about his Michigan State Spartans playing Texas Tech in the first of the round ball of the Final Four. I don't know which game goes first, Virginia, Auburn, or Michigan State. Texas Tech, it really doesn't matter. They're in Minneapolis. The Final Four is upon us. Aqueduct we go. We're going back to New York. We're sounding very, very good. I'm hearing from a lot of folks on the texting trail and on the social media trail that we're blistering out there. Aqueduct, my man, how big's your ticket?
Well, I went on a smaller one right now at Aqueduct, $81.
Starting in the 7th?
6th race, pick 5.
Okay, the pick 5. So in the 6th race, who are we using?
The 4, 1, and the 2. Top choice would be in the number 4, Call Paul.
Okay. 7th race.
8, 1, and 6. Top choice is going to be number 8, Life's a Parlay at 4-1.
Okay. 8th race.
4, 2, and 5. Positive Spirit will be my top choice. I'll also be using 2, Espresso Shot, and 5, Always Shopping.
All righty. 9th.
This is where I'm going to single number 8, World of Trouble. I'm going to hopefully get by with this horse. I think it's a monster. I think this is where I'm going to spread deep. I'm going to use 6 horses, 4, 2, 3, 10, 1, and 5. I would spread all even on deeper tickets, but
4,
2, 3, 10, 1, and 5. And that's the order I like, so that's why I gave it that way.
All right. 11th.
That's it. That's the pick 5. That's an $81 ticket on a 50-cent bet.
All righty. So you have a selection.
Race 11. Yeah, race 11's nice. I think this is a lot of options. So if you did make some money, stay around. 10 Expert would be my top choice. 1, 2 in a row for Linda Rice. Won its last by 5 lengths. I really like it at 4-1. Okay. Number 1 Blew It. Some options, and then at a price. 8-1, Salmon Lax, I think, has a chance. Brown Ortiz, 36%.
9, Salmon Jack?
Yep. Salmon Lax.
Who?
Lax. Salmon Lax. Lax is lacrosse. That's what you say for lacrosse, I think.
Salmon Jacks.
Did I spell wrong?
I don't know. Maybe you did, but maybe it's, it's written on there. Every night doesn't make a difference. It's number 9, right?
Yep, you got it.
What about Vincento? Did Vincento make any marks on here? Vincento's the 2. Did you put any marks in regard to this 11th at Aqueduct? If not, we'll move on.
I didn't, but that doesn't mean that...
all right, we'll just take a look at it later. Let me go to Keeneland, race number 6.
Race 6 at Keeneland. We are moving along too. We are going to go with the 2 horse is going to be my top horse here, Recruiting Ready. But I think this race is wide open, and you need to spread here deep if you can. I mean, on real deep tickets, I'd go all, but I don't have a single here, so I'm going to try to play a little bit tighter, and I'm going to use some prices here, including a 20 shot, 12 to 1 shot, 10 to 1 shot, including 2, 13, 14, 9. You got to use the champ number 6, 1, and 4. And I know it's crazy. You should be using the all probably in the situation, but that's 7 horses in this field. I'm hoping to sneak by with one of my prices here in race 6, the Commonwealth Grade 3.
Who'd you like?
Top choice would be the number 2, but I got the 2, the 13, the 14, the 9, the 6, the 1, and the 4. That's 7 horses. So, like I said, if you have a little bit more money behind, I would go all here.
All right, 7th race?
7th race, I like top choice number 6, Will Call at 6-1. This horse last ran in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Last ran on a yielding track. Castellano gets the call. This horse was second in the Woodward 2-back, so I like it at 6-1. I'm also going to be using the 11 in Pyramus. This horse had blowout speed figure, 6-1 there. I think that 6-11 would be my 2 top choices. On deeper tickets, I would be using the 9 and the 3 also, and the 8 Conquest Tsunami.
All right. So Will Call.
So Will Call, and then number 11, Imprimis, would be the 2 horses I'm going to use on a smaller ticket. On a deeper ticket, I'm going to add the 9, Bound for Nowhere, the 3, Disco Partner, and the 8, Conquest Tsunami.
Okay. And then we go to the 8th race, which is the Madison Stakes. That's the filly and mare race at Keeneland, and you have Late Night Powwow with Luis Saez. Is that a single here?
No, I'm actually gonna use 3 horses here.
Who are they?
Actually, I'm gonna use 4. I have to use Peter Miller here. I can't throw him out. I'm gonna use America's Tail as my top choice. I like this one. 10-1, number 8, America's Tail.
Okay.
I like the 8, the 9, the 6, and the 5.
Okay. 9th race we go. Feedback, Jaywalk, Chocolate Kisses. Are those the 3?
Those are the 3 I'm going to use here.
2, 4, 5.
That's what I like here.
10th race we go.
10th race we go. I think this one's wide open. I think this is where we're going to try to look for a price. You got to have I like number 6, Dreammaker here. I like number 8. You got to put Vacoma, even though we're going to try to beat the favorite. 5, Signal Man, and then Admire too.
All righty.
What number's Admire?
Admire is the 7.
7. Okay.
At 15-1.
Yeah, Johnny Lowe likes Admire, so it's a good.
He does.
Friend, yeah. So.
And he's hot, isn't he?
Yeah, Johnny's a good pedigree guy. He's one of my partners. Great. Thanks for listening, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny. Hope the baby's fine.
Yeah, I think this race is wide open. I mean, even some like a Hot Brown, maybe possibly throw in there Aquadini at a price, Sir Winston. I mean, you could also go deep on this. This is just, as you said, Keeneland's got a lot of horses running today. And if you could get a couple of those favorites to drop out, if you could beat Jaywalk, and also, Disco Partner, I think that you could get paid in these pick 4s, pick 5s at Keeneland.
Santa Anita, baby doll. Let's turn the page. 11 race card at Santa Anita. Once again, welcome to Track Talk along with Tommy D. I'm Felix Taverna. We have experiencing some phone line difficulties, and we're trying to get those taken care of right now. It's live radio, but we are here, and we're happy that we are here. And uninterrupted Track Talk from coast to coast. The Wood Memorial back at Aqueduct, down in Keeneland, the Bluegrass Stakes out here on the West Coast, Santa Anita. Really a lot to shoot for. Juicy payouts in the pick 5s and the pick 9s, or the pick 6s, I should say. The Rainbow paid $9,000 for 20-cent bet. Go to Santa Anita, and it might not look really tempting to kick things off here in the first 5 races. You might have some short prices, but believing that the floodgates will open up. What's your Reader's Digest version of the pick 5 at Santa Anita? Who's your key choice at Santa Anita?
Yeah, well, I'm just glad that they're running at Santa Anita, and happy that the horses are happy out there and running, and everyone's the positive vibes are just got to keep it positive, horsemen. So race 1, I like a couple horses here. 8-2-1, I'd use 3. 8-2-1-4 in the first.
All right, 8-2-1. All right, let me go to the second.
Sneaking out's going to be tough here to be here. That's 6 horse.
6.
I'm going to go ahead and single that one. I think this horse has a lot of speed.
Philly.
Race 3. I'm going to be chasing yesterday. I'm going to take a shot of taking out Bellafina here. So I like 2 and 5 in race 3.
Yeah, chasing yesterday, Bellafina. That's the Santa Anita Oaks. What a great race that is. And Flavian Pratt riding very sharp. We go to the fourth race. It's on the dirt. It's a starter allowance, Tommy D. It's a $33,000 stake race sandwiched in between a $400,000 race and a $200,000 race. 11 races at Santa Anita. What do you have in the fourth race?
Yeah, I think I got to number 9, Captivate on top. Mike Pipe, DVD, Drayden Van Dyke, third by a length last time off the bench. So I like the chances here. It did run behind Royal Chump, 9, 5, 10, 13, 6. I'm using 5 horses here.
All right. Pipey got off the snide yesterday with a El Gapito Delgadillo at a big price. So it was a double-digit price. It was the longest price at Santa Anita, if I stand correct. So in the fourth race, you're going 5 deep here?
Yes.
What are the numbers again?
9, 5, 10, 13, 6.
5, 10, 13, and 6. Okay, we go to the fifth race. It's the Royal Heroine. And we have 3 to 5. Wow. I mean, here's Flavian Pratt again, Basilica. Is this a free bingo square?
I think so. I think it is a free bingo square here for Basilica. This horse looks to be a monster. I don't know how any of these horses could compete. Number 2, Miss Bad Behavior. This horse keeps coming behind this horse, but Mike Smith does take over. Space Talk maybe at a price underneath on the exacta or 3 mil ticket. But Basilica, I'm going to end it off with Basilica on my pick 5, singling 3 to 5 though. So you got to catch some prices in the first couple races, which I think you can. If you could get by with sneaking out, and then if you could beat Bellafina also. So we'll see, though. Pick 5, I don't see as much value as some of the other races.
All right, we're not even going to put a pick 5 in. No, we're going to shoot for the stars here. Welcome to WS Radio on a Saturday. This is Track Talk along with Tommy D. I'm Felix Taverna. March Madness up in Minneapolis. We have Michigan State and Texas Tech. We have Virginia and Auburn, and we have a whole lot shooting as we started the trail from New York back there in the Wood Memorial. 10 races today. Aqueduct, great card with the Bayshore, the Excelsior, the Gazelle, the Carter Handicap. Tommy D, I tweeted out that we're going to do 16 races in 1 hour. We talked about 5 from Aqueduct. We've talked about 6 from Keeneland, so that's 11. We have done 3 races from Santa Anita, that's 14, and we are on a roll. And the next race I want to go to, my friend, is the Echo Eddie, 6.5, 3-year-old. It's a graded stakes. It's a non-graded stakes, actually, but a nice purse of $200,000 at the distance of 6.5. I think this is where Santa Anita might warm up.
Yeah, this looks to be a really, really nice competitive race. I like a few horses. On top, I have number 8, Tap the Wire. This horse winning, 2 races by 3+ lengths impressively. Daniel Dunham doesn't, always see him on top here, but Drayden Van Dyke, he's got a special horse. It's been off since August. That's my only concern. Number 3, Foster Boy. Foster Boy working out really, really nice. I think I'm in the wrong race here, Felix. Sorry.
You're in the same race. You're in
Foster Boy. What number is Foster Boy? I have the wrong number for him. Is he
6.
number 8? 6. Okay, sorry. That's why I was looking for him. I was like,
yeah. Go, man.
So Foster Boy broke its maiden.
While you're saying that, not to interrupt you, I'm thinking, well, Flavian Pratt might be having a good day. And here you go, Foster Boy, who I look down, who's on it, Flavian Pratt.
Well, this horse broke its maiden last time out. It's going to be going turf to the dirt. I like it. The last time work on the dirt was impressive. So Foster Boy, you got to look at. I like number 9 at a price. Principal Carlo. This horse is owner-trainer here. This horse might be a little bit of a reach, but the good workout tab there. And one that I really like that snuck up on my board, I put him up in second, is number 5, Listing. You got Cecil and Rosario, Redham Racing with Cecil. I do like that connection when they do connect. This horse won $100K last time, nosed out the race before that. first to the track, off the bench. And then, Lieutenant Dan, I can't leave this horse out. The morning favorite, 7-2. This horse won by 4 on the synthetic at Golden Gate for Miyati coming down, and maybe 4 Midnight Special. I love this race, Felix.
This is a tough race, baby. It's a tough race. Redham uses Doug O'Neill as his main guy. He also gives horses to Ben Cecil and Simon Callahan. And they almost pulled and Eddie Freeman. I want to shout out to my man, trainer Eddie Freeman, who almost stole the last race with push through last night at Santa Anita at 23-1. Just great racing at Santa Anita. We want to make it very, very safe. And before I go any further, I want to wish from all our Track Talk family our condolences to you, Tommy D. Your grandfather passing away, and I know it's a traumatic time for you. Knowing what death to a very loved one can do to a person. I've been there recently with the loss of my mom, and I think about her every day. But your grandfather lived a great life. How old was he?
96 years old.
God bless
thanks,
him.
Felix. He was the one that got me into the game of horse racing, card player, all that fun stuff. We called him Pop. So Pop is up there playing cards. I know he's hustling some people. So, we miss you, Pop.
And he took you to the track?
Yeah, we used to go to the Trotters, Vernon Downs, if anybody's familiar, Central New York. And then we used to go to also Saratoga in the
And you were telling me just a couple of weeks ago, we were sharing stories about my mom and your grandfather, and that he lived on his own at 95. I don't know if he had assisted living in the last year, but I recall you sharing with me that he was quite independent. He lived on his own.
Yeah, he was very, very independent. So these last couple months were tough for him, but all the way up through, 95, living on his own, playing cards. I think he even drove up to like 91 or something. Unbelievable. But a nice full life. But we will miss him. So
I just got a text. My man Ron Monaco Jewelers, a longtime friend up there in San Juan Capistrano, and I drop by and visit with him when I'm up and down into the Orange County area. And just a great, great jewelry store, great quality, great selection. They do it all, and he's always dealing, buying jewelry, getting great inventory, rings, watches. So if you're in the marketplace, I want to tell you, I've dealt with him for a long period of time, and they are just good as it gets. Monaco Jewelers up there, San Juan Capistrano on a Saturday. It's a jewel of a day here without any question. Along with Tommy D, I'm Felix Taverna. We are Track Talk. We're broadcasting live from the WS Radio Network, and we welcome you from coast to coast on a Saturday morning. Final Four basketball. Did you get a chance just to break in? Did you get a chance to see UConn women in Notre Dame last night?
I did not catch that.
Oh,
game.
Come on, dude.
I know I missed it.
Come on. What a game.
I was getting ready for the big day today.
Yeah, UConn led by 9 with 7.5 to go. They thought they had Notre Dame's number. And then I want to tell you something. If those women didn't play just as good, if not better, than the men in March Madness, then I don't know what I was seeing. But these women were sharpshooting. I mean, you talk about draining some long threes on both sides. What a tremendous finish. Notre Dame moves on. Oregon loses a very, very tough one to number 1 ranked Baylor. I think like the 1, 2, 3, and 4 seeds, or the 1, 2, 2, 2, because they beat Oregon. Oregon knocked out Mississippi State, but this women's basketball, Connecticut, I mean, they won 35 games, the 4 teams that are in the Final Four. So it'll be Notre Dame. It'll be Notre Dame and Baylor in the women's final on Monday night. So just tremendous. And then we got the Final Four today. All right, let's get back to racing action. You want to talk a little bit about race number 7? There is a mandatory payout in the pick 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it starts in the 6th race. And Tommy D, they do this on big days where they have the mandatory payout. So we are having a mandatory payout. It's going to, be in the sequence from 6 through 11. The 7th race is wide open, Joe. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think One Bad Boy would be my top choice here. This horse lost to Omaha Beach by 9 last time, but, Omaha Beach is a superstar, I believe. By Twirling Candy, this horse will be going dirt to the turf. So One Bad Boy I do like at 7-2. I also like number 7. Time is now. You got Richard Mandela, Mike Smith, 4-1 in its first start. Second start here, so give the horse another chance. Number 12, Proud Money, David Hoffman's 25%, 26% trainer on the year. This horse was favored at the post first time out, did finish fourth. Same thing. I want to give it another chance at 6-1. Proud Pedro, this French horse, going to be making its first North American start. Finished third over the pond there in France. And then 4-1, you got Flavian Pratt. Leonard Paul does a nice job with these horses. And then maybe at a price, number 9, Ocean Fury. You got the DeSormo brothers combo here. Teaming up here on Ocean Fury here. This horse finishing fourth, not too far off in a similar field. So I like 5, 7, 12, 11, 9. But Felix, you're right. This race is wide open. And maybe throwing in the 3, taking a last look at that. Polar also could be a good option here. But this maiden could be really big on that mandatory payout. It is 1 mile. There's a 12-horse field. Race 7, very wide open. But, if I had to give one horse, number 5, One Bad Boy would be the horse, for me. But I think you got to use many here.
All right. That's race number 7, right?
Yep.
Yeah, wide open, baby. 1 mile on the turf. All right, we go to the 8th race. We welcome you again, coast to coast. We might just set a record for just talking about more action than ever on any radio program in the history of horse radio. Only here on WS Radio, Track Talk, we count down the days of the Kentucky Derby. You realize the Kentucky Derby is 4 weeks.
I knew it was just about a month. I think I said right around there. I wasn't sure exactly. I know it's always the first weekend in May.
So last night, I reached out to Wade Taylor, our president of the network, who puts us into the realm of the mindsets, and so I was just searching for something, and all of a sudden, I came across our Belmont Park special that we recorded inside the studio last year. And we had a special 1-hour Belmont Steak Show and Justify, and how we were so correct, and just being so excited about Justify vying for the Triple Crown. And God, it was good. It was really good. What about the Santa Anita Derby today as we go to race number 8?
Santa Anita Derby, wow, this one looks, so we only got 6 horses in this field, but Game Winner is the horse that we're looking at. Bob Baffert, Rosario, lost to Omaha Beach last time. Owner, Gary and Murray West, second off 25% here. This horse did come off the bench last time to come up against a really tough Omaha Beach last time. So number 6 at 4-5, I think is going to be very tough to beat. If I had to put a couple other horses underneath, number 5, Instagram. This horse was third in the Gotham. Hollendorfer Pratt, I think this horse is a real deal too, and could compete if I see on any other horse stepping up here. Number 5, Instagram, and then maybe underneath number 3, Nolo Catesto here for Sadler. This horse was stuck on the inside. I did see an interview from Sadler saying this horse wanted to be on the outside, so I think that this horse will be better placed here, Nolo Catesto, but I like Game Winner to win. 6 over the 5-3 in the exacta. I like the chances there. Maybe putting in number 2 more ice at 30-1 in the exacta try, possibly. I'm going to try to go against Roadster. This horse, Bob Baffert will have this horse ready to go, though. This horse on the rail, Mike Smith by Quality Road. But I think Game Winner is going to be too impressive here, number 6 in the Santa Anita Derby. But also, Instagram, too, does have a solid shot, too, Felix. But, number 6, Game Winner, I think that was a little tune-up last time. I think at home here, Baffert will have this horse ready to go. Doesn't even need to win, but I think has a good chance to take him down.
Yeah, and can you hear anything?
No.
No here. No here, no ticky, no here.
It's okay. We keep going here. Well, Roadster here is the wild card, I think, for Bob Baffert here. This horse talked about favorite in its first 2 races here. It was even favored against Game Winner last time they faced each other in September at Del Mar. So this will be interesting to see, but Game Winner did prevail in that, and Roadster coming back from, I think, throat surgery, so they did fix that problem, and maybe that's the issue. Maybe this horse will be ready to fire today, but I think it is a wild card. I would rather go with the sure, not the sure thing, but the also, experience on the track with Game Winner. Game Winner has won 4 out of 5 races, earning $1.6 million in earnings, Felix. So, and by Candy Ride. So, I think Game Winner is very strong here in the San Diego Derby.
4-5 with Joel Rosario, owned by Gary and Mary West. Like you said, they needed the race last time. It wasn't 100%. Be a much tighter animal today. Race number 8. Just great racing at all venues today. Aqueduct, Keeneland, down in Oaklawn. 9th race, you have a selection?
Yeah, I like number 7, Maxim Rate. This horse broke its maiden special weight at 28-1. Callahan, Pratt takes over. This was a $235K purchase, so I like it second off. Number 6, Colonial Creed. I like Baltus and Franco. Baltus on the turf. Jimmy Creed. And then Laker Ball maybe at a price. Third in the Cal Cup, $200K. You get O'Neill Bayerano. That's 10-1 here. A couple Europeans coming in that might have a shot too, but 7, 6 are my top 2 here racing.
All right, 10th race we go. And boy, what a nice race this is, huh? A mile and a quarter, race number 10. I think they call it the Santa Anita Big Cap. Only 6 horses, 2 from Baffert, 2 from Hollendorfer. Which one gets the job done, Tommy D?
You know what? Between the 2, I got to tell you, I like number 4, a Gift Box here for Sadler and Hronis Racing. This horse, 101 buyer last time. I think this horse is going to like the distance here. This Chad Brown trained this horse earlier in its career, so good training behind there. Twirling Candy is going to be the sire here. So at 6-5, Gift Box, I like. I'm going to try to take out number 1, Mackenzie here. Mackenzie running back-to-back 103 buyer speeds, won the Malibu at 7, but I'm not sure about the distance here at a mile and a quarter. 3 Prime Attraction, I expect to be right out front. Yeah. And then maybe Campaign underneath to get some at a price. But 4 Gift Box is my horse here at 6-5.
All righty. Truly a professional, Tommy D. You've shown what a professional. We did this whole show without any headsets. We had some malfunction, which happens, and unfortunately we couldn't get to Matty B or Zapper or Toby. But you came big time. You came big. Where's your best bet today? Across the country? No, in Santa Anita. If you're going to put harder, like you did the work, where's your best bet?
I think that I would have to go to race 7. I do like number 5, One Bad Boy, in that 1 mile turf. It does seem pretty open, but I like the chances of that one quite a bit. And then Maxim Rate in race 9. I think both of those 4-1, 7-2, a couple nice prices here, and maybe win show bets. I think that should be a pretty good mid-price there.
Yeah, and so did you put a lot of time into that card last night?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I checked it out pretty good. I dug into the forum and want to try to provide some information that will help you today. So
you ever handicap with Luca?
Oh yeah, Lucas sometimes sits next to me. And
does he ever give you any winners?
Well, I'll tell you yesterday. You'll get a kick out of this because we were. I was watching the horse races and there was one of the tracks and they were doing the bugle and he looked up. He heard the bugle and he got all excited and said, "Horse racing?" And I said, "Yeah, you want to watch?" And he said, "Yeah." So we watched a couple races yesterday at Keeneland. But here the bugle is funny because he looked up and he knew it. And I said, "Do you want to go see the horses?" Because I take him to the farm sometimes. And he said, "Yeah." So we're going to try to go out to the farm. We should maybe go up to Blue Chip together here. Felix.
Yeah, we definitely need to do
Luke
that.
Out there. I know Tom would love to have us out there. So
yeah, talked to Tom this morning and talked to him yesterday as well. Did love the guy. Tom Mansour, Blue Chip Thoroughbreds up there in Hemet, has, man, I didn't know it was that long. He was telling me that he wanted me to come out for lunch. And we wanted to go out to lunch and come to the farm. And I said, well, how long does it take to get to the farm? And he said, an hour and 20 minutes. You got to be kidding me. It takes an hour to get there to Hemet?
Yeah, but it's in a good location. It's between Santa Anita and Del Mar, kind of, so it's perfect for, laying up your horses. Also, they're doing some good things. Tom and the crew have got great plans for Blue Chip, so definitely worth checking out, Felix. A great experience.
All right, we got sound. We've got everything sun shining through the studios. We go to Santa Anita. We join with the Double T, Toby Terrell. We're going to try to get Zap on as soon as we get Toby connected here. Toby, at top of the morning, how are you?
I am doing great, guys. Just getting ready for a big day of racing all across this great nation.
Yeah, Aqueduct, The Wood, Keeneland, Bluegrass, and Santa Anita, the Santa Anita Derby as well. Toby, I asked Tommy D. Tommy D didn't have any idea, and neither did I. I sort of, getting old, I can't think. But maybe you know the answer to this. Keeneland was one of the first tracks to put the all-weather track in, to pad out, or all-weather track, whatever they call it. Do they still run? What kind of surface is at Keeneland at the present?
Yeah, Keeneland is running on dirt at the present time, and they had polytrack, as did we down at Del Mar when the synthetic was last in. Now, synthetic tracks have evolved tremendously since then, and the track, like for example, up at Golden Gate Fields, is called Tapeta. And that is the brainchild of Michael Dickinson, who, if anybody out there wants to get some real color and background on somebody who is really just well-rounded and is so knowledgeable about horse racing, not only in this country but in Europe, where he actually gravitated back to the States, you should get to know Michael Dickinson. I have enjoyed listening to his background, his stories, et cetera, et cetera. But Golden Gate guys, they have his surface called the Tapeta. That, I believe, is kind of the surface of the now. And up there, they had monster climate, rain, you name it. They, as a rule, get way more than we do here in Southern California. And their numbers have been fantastic up there. In fact, since September, they only had 5 equine fatalities. So I believe myself personally, and I have spoke to people who are very close to Michael Dickinson, that I still believe that's the way of the future. But with so much on our plate today, so many winners and so many tickets to cash, guys, why not just randomly start with the Bluegrass there in Kentucky, and talk about farms. You want to go take the boy to see some farms, Tommy D, that's where you want to go. You just melt. You're just mesmerized walking around in beautiful Lexington, Kentucky there, home of Keeneland. And today they got one heck of a running of the Bluegrass. 14 horses, going to be a cavalry charge, it appears. I love the attitude of Kenny McPeak, the trainer of Signal Man. He said, not only do I think I'm going to win this race, but 8-1, I'm also going to be betting on this race and cashing some tickets, hopefully, at the same time.
That's number 3, Signal Man, morning line at 5-1. Getting back to Michael Dickinson, what was it called? The Mad Scientist. I met him. at a symposium show, and I got a great Michael Dickinson. Remember the Breeders' Cup when he was following horses? He got on to the backstretch. He was following a trainer who he thought was cheating, and that was shipping his horse from Palm Meadows down to Gulfstream Park. This is going back to 1999, I do believe, and Michael Dickinson was the guy that sort of followed him with the truck all the way down, and it made for a great conspiracy. But he won the Breeders' Cup back to back with a horse off the layoff. You remember the name of the horse by any chance?
The name is actually slipping my mind right now, but I'm sure with this cast that we have on air right now, we're going to come up with it. I do remember the famous high heel story where they walked the track and the Haas. There it is.
The Haas, that's right.
So anyway, the story was that it wasn't Michael Dickinson. It was the lady friend he had with him at the time that he just backed into it and backed into the fact that with those high heels, you could measure the depth and then not only measure it, but feel it yourself, as opposed to like the stake that they'll take out there even now and try to measure the turf course. That's just a little tiny strand of the genius of this man.
What do you mean? Did he back into the track, or did he back into the woman with the heels?
I don't know. We'll have to get him on this show.
Yeah, I mean, this could be an X-rated broadcast here. We should do that. We should do that on Sundays. We're going to do a little different format on Sundays, and we're going to get more involved in different issues and have a roundtable discussion, more interviews, because we just did 16 races. My man Tommy D did a whole lot of races. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But Toby, I want to ask you some of the horses that are on the Kentucky Derby Trail. You talked about the Bluegrass, and then, of course, you did see, by the way, nice pick on Danny Joe, or whatever your best bet was yesterday. You got a fat 4-1 on that horse, and it won very nice, paid 10 and change. Just a great best bet yesterday, and got 4-1. I could not believe it. But let's go to the big runners today. Well, what about Basilica? What about Game Winner? What about the major players that are a part of today's big races? Roadster. What'd you come away with, like in McKenzie? Tommy D likes gift box. Man, it's star-studded, 11 races. What'd you come away with today, Toby, and what can you share with our audience?
Yeah, well, you just warmed everybody up there, including myself, to watch these horses run today. And, nobody needs me to talk about what stars they are, even going into today's card. Basilica starting another win streak as the connections have decided to not take all the money. They want to race her this year, and that's kind of the boldest signal you could have, that those connections walked away from a lot of money just to keep this mare on the racetrack and on that turf course, hopefully to just keep these amazing win streaks going, and the amazing job that Jerry Hollendorfer just seems to just have a knack with the fillies. I don't know what it is, but I came up at dinner last night that he is definitely in the top 2, 3, maybe even the best trainer of fillies that we have seen, certainly in our lifetime. And Game Winner, well, all I can say about Game Winner is I believe he is kind of a man amongst boys. He's not really athletic, but boy, oh boy, is he a strong frame, mature, magnificent-looking framed horse, and he just out-finesses them with all that prowess. And then, of course, save the big cap, all of the history and pageantry of a very historical race. This will be the 82nd running of not only the Santa Anita Derby, but the big cap. A lot of people are with Tommy D there on the gift box bandwagon. Of course, I would be remorse, feel guilt, just can't do it, because McKenzie is named after Brad McKenzie, a longtime family friend, a gentleman, and just so good to me through the years. Just always enjoyed talking to him, and would go out of his way. I told the story on this show at Del Mar. I'll never forget it. Down there at Old Quigley's Corner, it's a standing room only, literally, hard to spot people. He spotted me, went out of his way to come talk to me. I couldn't believe it. And with all that aside, guys, I believe McKenzie is coming into this race absolutely loaded for maybe even the race of his life.
Wow. Brad McKenzie, former general manager, passed away due to cancer complications of Los Alamitos. And Bob Baffert, Mike Pegram, the group that own this wonderful colt, named him McKenzie in Brad McKenzie's honor. He has not disappointed. Toby, quickly, I want to ask you in regard to the racetrack, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of questions. We raced on Thursday. We raced on Friday. Today is Saturday. How is it working? How is it playing in the afternoon?
Well, what you see is what you get here. And I say that because Dennis Moore, long time veteran trackman, and speaking of all-time greats, he's in there, guys. He's Hall of Fame. The track, a lot of people are going to have to adjust to it, but I'll tell you this. He will not waver from the way that he takes care of the racetrack. And the way he takes care of it is it's a little on the deeper side. There's been sand added to it, so it will be slower. And what you see is what you get. It's kind of slow in the morning. It's going to be slow in the afternoon. But I'll tell you this, you don't have to worry about the track being one day something and then another day something else, because Dennis Moore will have this track, I believe, day in and day out as consistent as humanly possible.
All right, great work from Toby Terrell from the great race place, Santa Anita. I want to wish Santa Anita a big day today, a safe day. You talk about having a lot on their plate and a lot of abuse directed their way, and PETA and Senator Feinstein now, and all these congressional people that are trying to, make a name for themselves and just disrupt what's going on. You can't overlook what's going on, but, you have to think about all the people that make Santa Anita their living, the grooms, the hot walkers, the trainers, the owners, the jockeys, and so forth and so on. And there's a lot of people that are affected by the downsize of all the shift. You want to make sure that, that somewhere we're back on, no pun intended, level ground and make it all happen. So, did you get anything from Toby during this conversation, this little talk with him that might excite you, Tommy D? He's loving your gift box.
Well, no, Signal Man, no, he likes McKinsey. I don't know what you're saying. He likes McKinsey. Maybe McKinsey gift box. I think those are going to be the two favorites going in. He's with me on Game Winner, so I like to hear that.
Come on, come on. Those are even money. I mean, those are obvious horses, aren't they? I want something juicy from you, Tommy D.
Well, he said Signal Man. Signal Man's 5-1 morning line. So I thought that was a good option. But, a horse that I like that I gave out earlier is a 10-1 race 8 in the Madison. Number 8, America's Tale. This horse is 10-1. I think it's got a pretty legit shot here. At the price. And then race 6, Keeneland, too. I might take a shot at a couple prices there, including the 14,
Who is it?
Majestic Dunhill, Weaver Ortiz Jr. combo
Weaver.
there.
You got to watch him.
So Warriors Club also maybe
What's
at
the
10-1. 10-1 on Warriors Club. Majestic Dunhill's 12-1. And then maybe even number 9, New York Central at a big price, 20-1, Steve Asmussen.
Race number 6?
Yeah, I think that race is wide open. I think we could see, I think uncontested at
Who's the
12-1
Asmussen horse?
is another price. I think those are all good price horses. Warriors Club, Majestic Dunhill, New York Central, and
Warriors Club
uncontested.
10-1. That's John Court. Who's trains?
What are you talking about? Which horse?
The 13.
The 13 Warriors Club is trained by D. Wayne Lucas.
John Court. That's what I thought.
So...
Yeah.
I think that's some good prices all around. America's Tale and the Madison.
You did a hell of a job, bro. I am quite impressed with your work today. I mean, you put the time in, and you should do the Warriors report. Well, we have come and gone here, and we got to moving along, and we make shift and make the best of it. Toby, your best bet today? Or Toby's gone? Toby is gone. We're all gone. Everybody's gone here. Wade Taylor is putting it all together. It's like Jack and Jill. What's the guy's name that fell off the wall? Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. Then he's putting it all back. He's putting it all back together again. We got him?
Matty B.
All right, Matty B joining us. Hey, Matty B, sorry, man. We've had just a little technical problem, but how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, Felix. Got my dancing shoes on, and I'm ready to go.
Good. I'm glad we can get with you, man, because I was just telling Tommy D that, you come in, you get all hyped up about, doing a broadcast, and you have some technical difficulties, and it happens, everywhere on every walk of media, TV, radio, and no matter what it is. So it's just a Murphy's Law, and then, something malfunctions, and we were unable to get to you as planned on the bottom of the hour. Michigan State and Texas Tech. We talked last Sunday. Michigan State played Duke. You were all excited. Tremendous ball game there. It'd be a tremendous ball game. Which game goes first?
The first game is Virginia at Auburn.
All right, so that's Virginia is currently a 6-point favorite as I looked last night. The total was right around 131, 132, Tommy D. So Virginia and Auburn. And then Michigan State is favored by 2 over Texas Tech. What's your thoughts, Matty B?
Virginia and Auburn is going to be really about pace. Virginia, while they have a much better offense than in years past, they've had great defense for, about 5 years now, Felix, something like that. Been one of the best defensive teams in college basketball year in and year out, but their offense was always a question. The style of play they play doesn't bring a lot of points to mind. It's not like watching North Carolina put up 97 points, something like that. It doesn't happen that much with Virginia. They're very happy winning in the 50s and 60s, but they can score into the 70s and 80s. Auburn, they're going to want to push that tempo. We just found out yesterday they're dealing with a couple illnesses to a couple of their top guys. So we're going to see how that plays a factor. Apparently, there's the same illnesses that North Carolina dealt with last week. Maybe that's where they got the illness. Who knows? And obviously, it had to have played a factor in North Carolina just getting boat raced by Auburn last week. So Auburn's got an uphill battle already, facing a very good Virginia team. And with some illnesses to some top guys, that's a tough spot to be in for Bruce Pearl's team.
Didn't Auburn get rolled by? Didn't Kentucky get rolled by Auburn as well?
They didn't get rolled by Auburn. Winning in overtime, you didn't get rolled. But they did get beat. P.J. Washington played great. He didn't have too much help, as much as expected. And Auburn played fantastic. Their point guard is phenomenal, and he took over that game, especially that overtime. Was solid at the line, didn't miss. Auburn earned that spot to the Final Four. They have been a phenomenal team since the SEC tournament run and on. Kind of like UConn did a few years back, where they won all the games in the Big East championship one of its final years and rolled that all the way to a title. Auburn's trying to do the same thing. Yeah,
they started with San Diego State. They got away with a controversial technical foul. Steve Fisher and I talk about that game all the time. That was Kemba Walker. That's when Kemba Walker had the great run through the tournament.
And Dwayne Wade.
What's that?
He always reminded me of a mini Dwayne Wade. The size, the build, and the style of play.
Yep.
That was a phenomenal run. In the second game, my Spartans, Felix, man, we have talked about Duke and Michigan State so many times, and Coach Krzyzewski.
Hold on, dude. Hold on, dude. Who's interviewing you? You interviewing me, or am I interviewing you? Am I asking the questions I want to ask in regard to?
I didn't know there were rules.
I know. What were you? So what were you doing? Where'd you watch the game? Now you're in your Michigan State jersey last Sunday. I mean, what a tremendous game. You had to be yelling at your TV. Put us into the zone.
Well, okay. So this is going to sound ridiculous to a lot of people, but the one game I watched live of this tournament for Michigan State was Bradley. And in Bradley, they looked terrible. Opening round, the 1s and 2s were given hell by the 15s and 16s for the most part. And I found that fantastic, except for when it was my team being put through that hell. The other two games, Minnesota, and then moving on to Sweet 16, I had to work. And so I recorded the games. I didn't know who won, but I didn't watch them live. And I had to work. And coming into the Duke game, I didn't have to work. But at this point, it's working so well, I got to do something. So I DVR'd the game. I went and saw Captain Marvel, very fun movie, by the way. Had no idea what was going on. Watched the game DVR'd afterwards, so it was live to me. And I watched.
Oh, what a chump, dude. What a chump. Tommy D, he records his Michigan State game and goes to a movie. Oh, man. I mean, okay, look, you cut him off.
It worked.
Oh, yeah, it worked. Oh, man, I would tell you, man, we did all this to have you on, and we're going to find out that during Duke and Michigan State, you're watching Captain Marvel.
It worked. They won their last LSU, all the games they won, and they won them easily. I was like, I'm not messing with this. I'm not taking chances against Duke, because with Duke, it's always going to be, for me, about the refs and how they ref the game, because I have seen Duke get away with stuff all the time. Zion's a college version of LeBron, offensive fouls left and right that don't get called, but in the end, it bit them in the ass because they didn't have enough fouls to do what they needed to do at the end of the game to extend that game. And Cassius Winston catching that ball and running down the court, and you ain't catching him, and I'm dancing and jumping. If I could dunk a basketball, Felix, it would have been right then and there because I jumped that high.
So, Maddie B, the question is, what movie are you going to see today?
I have to work tonight, so it works into my favor here with recording this and watching it afterwards. And, God, Monday, if God willing, national championship, same situation. I got to work. I'll be recording. It's worked so far. God willing, it's going to keep working because we got a tough matchup against Texas Tech. That defense, Michigan State's played a lot of good defensive teams this year.
You see what this is, dude?
Against them.
You see what this is? Okay. All right. Just showing Tommy D something. This is before the tournament, okay? The final four teams. How do you like this for a trifecta or a superfecta? What I did was I did my boards like Tommy D for March Madness. I think I sent them to you, and it had all the games, the morning games and so forth. I think I sent them to all you guys. But anyway, what I didn't send to you was right prior to the tournament, what the odds were on teams to win it all. And Duke was 2-1. Okay, so we go to Virginia, which is one of the Final Four members, and Virginia was 6-1. We go to your Michigan State Spartans prior to the tournament to win it all. They were 16-1, Matty B. Mm-hmm. Texas Tech was 25-1. And if Texas Tech wins the national championship, I will kick myself in the butt for days over.
Wait, what is Auburn?
Auburn is 30-1. Auburn was 30-1 to win. So 6, 16, 25, and 30. Virginia Tech was 33-1. Gonzaga was 8-1. Tennessee 12. North Carolina 8. Duke is mentioned 2. Buffalo Bulls.
They ran into that Texas Tech buzzsaw too.
Yeah, 66-1. I want to ask you, where was the money? Where was the money play in Michigan State's win over Duke? What did they do that impressed you that got them the victory?
They didn't fall into the trap that they have fallen into against Duke at times, where Duke makes a run at some point and State can never get all the way back. Duke made that run. State jumped out great, and they looked, everyone's moving. Matt McQuaid is moving. They weren't hitting shots from the outside, but they were making moves to the basket and getting offensive rebounds and putbacks. And Xavier Tillman is going to be an important Spartan the rest of the time he plays basketball here. He's still young. He's still growing. Next year, all that. He has grown leaps and bounds and is a phenomenal player. And it's Tim, Goins, and Ward. Their size, with how they were able to use it, even against Zion, impressed me. But not falling into that trap and then trusting Cassius Winston to take over as he did. And he took over that basketball game, made phenomenal plays, got the help he needed, and they just played a great game. Izzo called a great game. It was from both sides, back and forth, lead changes galore in the second half. And we just were able to get one more point because Duke's not a great shooting team, and they weren't able to hit a lot of outside shots. They missed some important free throws, and it played to our advantage that there weren't that many fouls called on them in the second half, and they couldn't get to the point where they had to stop the clock and send us to the line. It was stop the clock, but we get the ball still.
We're going to see Michigan State Monday night.
I think so. I really think so. I think beating Duke has proven this team is special because it hasn't happened much in the Tom Izzo era. As great as there has been, 8th now Final Four, this is only the second time they have beaten Duke. And, all the noise coming into that game, they have the pieces needed. But Texas Tech has a phenomenal defense, and if they can really disrupt Winston, they can cause a whole bunch of problems for Michigan State.
You're making Tommy D cry. We're crying inside the studio, hoping that your Michigan State Spartans can get it done today and play on Monday night.
Big Ten hasn't had a basketball championship since the last time Michigan State did it in 2000. They have had runner-up.
19 years ago?
Yep.
That's
Michigan
amazing.
Lost a couple times they win.
Yep.
Ohio State lost a times they win. Michigan State went up against that phenomenal 2009 North Carolina team that was no doubt all year the best team in the country, and they won the national championship against Michigan State. We've been there, haven't closed it since 2000.
Hey, let me ask you this. Matty B joining us from the Big Easy New Orleans show. Are you involved in any of that voodoo crap down there? I mean, is it around you? Do you see any of it?
I try to keep myself away from that. I don't need any of that. The only one whose voodoo I take is my girl, and she knows she needs to use it today.
How about the Cajun food? Is it good?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
New Orleans, fun city?
Very fun city. A lot of culture, a lot of great music, and if you haven't come, you should come in the end of April, early May. Jazz Fest, absolutely worth it. It's a phenomenal time.
All right, so Tommy D and I are coming to New Orleans, all right?
All right. See you at Jazz Fest.
Yeah, Bourbon Street. We own Bourbon Street, you know that. Final word, Tommy D?
Hey, Matty B, good luck with Michigan State today. I'll be pushing for you. It'll be tough against Texas Tech playing lights out, but hey, I'll be cheering for you. Good luck, everybody, in the races today. Big racing, big basketball. Hi, Luca. Love you, buddy.
Love you, Luca, too. Tommy D, your grandfather's memory always within the realm of remembrance. And Wade Taylor, thank you very much for joining us. Matty B, we'll check in with you tomorrow. We'll have a lot of fun. Thanks for being patient. We thank everybody out there listening to us. Track Talk, Tommy D, Toby Terrell. We try to get Zap on. We'll get him on tomorrow. But we went through a lot of races. Very, very proud of the work Tommy D did today. Very, very proud of the fact that you tuned in. Getting a lot of texts. We'll check in with you tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us. We're right here every Saturday and Sunday morning. WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in Internet talk. This is Track Talk. I'm Felix Taverna. Hello, Mark. Good morning. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow morning, everyone. Take care. You take your smartphone almost everywhere you go. Now WSRadio.com can be there too. Search WS Radio in the Play Store for your Android devices or iTunes for Apple and download the WS Radio application. WSRadio.com on your phone and in your ear everywhere you go. Download the WS Radio application. Do it now. It's very easy. WSRadio.com.
Kenja Dixon was crowned the #1 sales executive through hard work, deep thinking, and the revelation of universal talk laws. He now wants to share these lessons with you. Universal talk laws are what you need to know and use in business and at home to have successful and effective conversations. Kenja Dixon shares his wisdom, action plans, and wealth. Each book comes with a chance to win $10,000. Find Universal Talk Laws at KenjaDixon.com.
I've heard this is like one of the best pizza spots in town.
Yes, it is.
I'll do a slice of pepperoni, slice of vegetarian.
You got it.
And I will pay for all of that in 3 days.
In 3 days? What's that mean?
Well, wait, you accept credit cards. That money's not going to hit your account for 3 days anyway.
I need my money quicker.
At Chase, we hear you. With Express Funding, card payments are in your Chase account the next business day. Go to chase.com/expressfunding. Chase for business, so you can.
Compensated participation. All businesses are subject to credit approval. Not all clients are eligible for next business day funding, and additional terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. MOZEguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Life is full of misadventures, from car crashes to home fires to getting choked out on the mat. Yes, I said getting choked out because I'm Carlos Kramer, jiu-jitsu competitor, MMA and media personality, and mild-mannered insurance agent. You can follow my adventures on Kick-Ass Radio, and I can protect you from life's misadventures at Kramer Insurance. Home, auto, life, business, and workers' comp. We're at KramerINS.com, and I want you to join my world.
Too much to do? Not enough time to get it done? Call on the experts at Another 8 Hours for your business support needs. By partnering with Another 8 Hours, we allow you to focus on the more important matters, like being in front of your clients, doing what you do best, rather than being stuck at a desk poring over paperwork, rummaging through emails, returning phone calls, and struggling to get everything done by yourself. Meanwhile, your family and social life are going down the drain. Go to another8hours.com or call 8 more hours. That's 866-734-6877.